guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
And I'm Dan.
It's the Board Game Rundown this week. We've got games we've played. We've got news. We've got a top 5. A little bit of a cranky edition of the top 5, right? We're going to get a little, throw a little fire at some stuff. What did I forget?
Kickstarter.
I got so excited about
too.
I got so excited about getting to that top 5.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna let it out.
yeah.
I'm ready for a lot of crossover.
That's really
Yeah, there's probably gonna be a bit of crossover. in
That's
this one,
fine.
but that's okay.
can
Also,
live with
while
that.
you're starting this video, thanks for liking the video and
Yeah.
stuff. We appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Right.
We're happy to
like
see
it,
you.
share it, subscribe, do all those things.
All those things. And thank you for having already done it.
Exactly.
All right, games we've played. I'll go first since
Yep.
it's one we've all played together, and it
sure.
was the only game I played all week.
Okay, go ahead.
Planet Apocalypse, guys. I
Yeah.
know. Planet Apocalypse co-op
Yep.
from Peterson Games. The box is up
It's
there.
a big old box.
Oh my
Hard
gosh,
to miss.
Yep.
it's tons of fun, man.
Yeah.
That is a lot of game in a big box, and always have a good time playing.
Yep.
We kicked ass. It was good.
We did.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You just kicked a really bad movie.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah.
That's what Jeff does.
Oh
every
yeah,
time.
we
I like
we
it.
edit
I like
stuff.
it. No, we did really well. We did
did.
really well. We had a couple close calls, but for the most part, it went really
Yeah,
well.
good time.
I have a good time playing that game.
Yep.
Yep.
So
it's a fun co-op. I
It's
enjoy
a
it.
fun co-op. I enjoy playing. Dang it.
I want to crank up the difficulty and play some more.
Me too.
Deal.
I want to play a different Lord with more difficulty.
Yes.
I want to play my
See
same
what
character
happens.
though, because I really like the sniper.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
too bad.
The problem is now nobody else will get to play. Actually, we bust out the expansions. We'll
There you go.
we'll play the new
Yeah,
characters.
That's fine.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like
so.
being able to.
Oh, I
combine my
found
dice
a
was
really
super
strong character. I just won't have fun, and I'll play them every time now.
Yeah.
I love it.
I was like, when did Bob move over
Yeah.
here? It just sounded exactly like it.
Musical chairs.
That's right.
It was really weird. All right, guys. So what else have y'all played?
Sure. I played Sheriff of Nottingham.
Oh, I love Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah, good game. I haven't played in a really long time, I guess. I did not think the scores got that high in that game. Like
Yeah,
we
I
were
only
all
played it once.
so high.
Really?
Oh.
We were at like 150,
Were you
160.
just letting everything through?
Get away. Yeah.
I
We're
guess
like,
maybe.
That's fine. Go
maybe
ahead.
That's what was
Yeah.
happening. I don't know.
Fine.
Yeah, maybe. I
Okay.
don't know. But yeah, because literally we got to the end of the game and like Catherine said her score and I was like, I'm going to double check that because that is insanely high.
No way you
And
scored that
then
many
Zach
points.
said his score and it was only like 10 less and I was like, oh, I guess her score wasn't that wrong. And then I said my score and me and Zach had like almost the same score and I was like, this is a high scoring game.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys got to open some bags up,
Yeah,
man.
I know.
Yeah, no kidding.
So Sheriff of Nottingham is essentially a bluffing game.
Yeah, bluffing line game where everyone takes turn being a sheriff, and it's like you guys are trying to sneak goods past me. Sometimes you're telling the truth, sometimes you're lying. It's up to me to either open your bag because you're lying or let you pass, and you secretly get contraband into the thing. And
And
it's this great little bluffing
My
game.
favorite thing is you can bribe the
Oh, yeah.
sheriff.
And you can bribe a lot of things.
Oh
too.
yeah, it's
I
so
learned
much fun.
things I didn't even like. You can bribe contraband you've already taken stuff. I didn't
Yep.
even know that.
Yep.
So
Yep, it's so
yeah.
much fun.
Yep.
It is so much fun. I absolutely love that game, and will never, ever, ever get the second edition.
Yeah,
of that
basically,
game.
it feels like a party game, but like it's it's an hour-long game or
Yeah.
something. Like it feels like a normal game, but also a party game, and I think that works for a lot of groups.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Sheriff of
When you want to play a
Nottingham's
party
fun.
game that's not, let's play this 10-minute just one and stuff like
Right.
that. But
Right.
anyway,
crunchier, more
Sheriff of
strategy.
Nottingham, great game.
I played Spirit Island.
What?
Yeah, I got to play that again.
Lots of surprises this
I know,
week.
shocker. We played 3 new spirits. Right?
Sure.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Tim played the one because like on the back they
Not
have
other
like
Tim.
Not me.
other Tim. Sorry. On the back they have a breakdown, right? If you're good at defense, good at fear, and there's
Right.
one that's like all question marks, right? And it depends on as you're doing your growth and putting out all your presents, you pick what types of things you want
You
to
can
unlock and what
specialize
wanna-
as you go.
Yeah,
Right?
and so Tim played that one, and that was really cool and neat, and he focused on like certain things. I played the one where you can, it's all inland, right?
Okay.
You can't put anything on the coastlands at all, but you're really strong in the inland,
Okay.
and that was a lot of fun. I don't remember the one that Brandon played.
So were you playing with all the new stuff you got then?
Yeah,
Some
we're
of the
playing
new
all
stuff?
new spirits. We still haven't messed with the time because there's one that messes with time,
Oh, weird.
and I haven't read those rules yet. Yeah. But that's like one new one that we haven't quite played
Gotcha.
yet. So, but we're trying to get all the other ones
It
in
gets
there.
a little timey-wimey.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome.
But yeah, it
Wibbly
was
wobbly.
a ton of fun though. We ended up winning. Took us about
Awesome.
hour and a half.
Right
Yeah,
on.
Not too bad.
Right on. Yeah, and I saw yesterday you had that big, nice
Yeah, the
broken token box.
crate. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the
It's-
specialties.
It
It's-
looks rad, dude.
It's pretty cool.
With that goo.
What's cool, another thing they do too is like they've got these punch outs of all the elements now because some things will be like, oh, give this person this element. And so to remind you now, they have punch outs. You'd be like, okay, here's a light for you for this turn. So that way kind of helps you to remember, like, oh yeah, that's right, I had an extra
keeping track
plant from you that I can keep track of to
right on.
get that done.
Right on.
The only other thing I have, so I played Planet Apocalypse, but then I also, as just mentioned, after Sheriff Nottingham, basically this will be on every week because at the end of every single game night I have, like we played Sheriff Nottingham, I don't remember if we played something else, I don't think so. We always end with, okay, let's just do just one for a while. So
just one's great.
Yeah,
though.
so just one. I played just one again. It is literally the wind down game of choice for my game group. Every
Nice.
single night that we end a game night, it's like everyone's like, we're about to go home, and it's like, let's just sit down and play just one for a bit, and it's just
or whatever.
so fun,
And
good.
So game related, but not a game I played. But I spent a lot of time this week. My version of painting, I painted like almost all of my Tainted Grail minis. And I started in on the Planet Apocalypse ones, as you guys saw. And then I did like my Fury of Dracula one because there was only like 5 of them, you know, so like kind of did them up a little bit.
Right.
But so I was doing game related things, and the whole time I'm doing it, I'm like, I gotta play this game. But Planet Apocalypse, we had planned ahead of time to play, so I was really, really, really like amped up and looking forward to it. I kept sending you guys messages, right? Everybody's in, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's
you
in.
kept like making the time earlier too.
Everybody's in. Everybody's in. Everybody's
After
in.
9. Okay, 9. Okay, 8:30. Right.
8:30. I was gonna try to even do earlier. I'm glad I didn't because I would have been late to my own thing I was hosting.
Well, we pulled up and everything was dark. We're like, I guess we just sit in the car and wait.
Yeah.
Yes. That's right.
Yes.
Great games this week.
I have another one.
Okay,
Yeah,
go.
we were
Go
gonna
for
move
it.
on.
Okay. Machina Arcana.
Oh,
That's how
okay.
it's pronounced. In this game, like I want to love it, right? It's steampunk, it's Cthulhu. The art is really cool, but I have a hard time with the rule book and the way it's organized. Like the information seems pretty good, but where you go to look for it seems weird. And yeah, so like I literally fought. Like I was telling him I had like a mezzo experience, right? Where it's like, man, it's like 2-3 hours, and I'm just struggling with this rule book, trying to get the flow going. And then finally we got it. We got everything kind of worked out, and we got pretty far in about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. But then we had to wrap up because it was time for everybody to go. And we had used up all of our time.
Sure.
And so it's still set up on my table. So I'm hoping to go home and either have somebody over to play or play solo and play a couple characters.
Just figure it out.
And just, get everything ironed out. Because I think that's one of those games that would really benefit from having somebody who knows how to play teach you as opposed to having to learn from the book.
But I also feel like the board game hobby is in a state where it is now where bad rule books are almost inexcusable.
Yep.
And
it might be like a language barrier thing, right?
It could be.
Because I think like I was looking online at some of the reviews and how to plays and whatnot,
Sure.
and they're all like
European,
yeah.
Sure.
And so maybe they just like it's different a little bit over there, or like the way they organize things, and that might be part of the problem too.
Yeah,
but
no, and that's totally fair.
Yeah,
that's totally fair. But I just feel like a bad rule book can kill a game.
Yep.
Like so in sour.
We ended up going on
right?
BGG and printing out. Like you did, and then that really helped, a lot too. But like you're finding items, you're crafting them together, and you're augmenting things like you would like it's steampunk,
right?
And the artwork is so cool too.
Sure,
yeah. Yep.
I'd love to see it.
And they have like an expansion now on Kickstarter.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought they had Kickstarter stuff going on right now. So speaking of which, you want to get into Kickstarters?
No.
Okay, cool.
I want to do news.
He wants to do. Dan wants to do news.
Dan wants to do news.
We are not breaking from the cycle.
Dan is keeping us
games
on.
we played, then news,
then Kickstarter.
Why do I even write things in order?
I do have it in order, and I skipped. So big news, right? HeroQuest.
Yeah.
HeroQuest is the big news. We will talk more a little bit later about that.
Exactly. That's why I wasn't mentioning it in news.
Okay.
But just so you know, the Heroic Pledge, which is the base game, which comes with their upgraded version of the minis and the terrain, like the treasure chests. Yeah. So in the old school one, it was like cardboard punch out, like clipped in, a standee version kind of stuff with the minis, and they were fine, whatever. But now they're doing like plastic.
Yes.
Like all the plastic furniture and stuff. So $100 essentially before shipping gets you the base game, and then the Mythic Pledge, which is $150, gets you like a couple extra characters, the 2 OG expansions, along with the base game.
So slightly on but off topic.
Uh-huh.
You guys remember that Mage Knight dungeon game that came out a while back? And like they had these treasure chests, and like they had 2 little clickers on them, right?
Oh,
so
right.
it started on a blank thing. You would roll a dice. You click the top thing so many times.
You used to
have
play
so
that
many...
Mage Knight game.
Yeah. And then you would spin the dial on the inside. Then when you open it up, you get with the dial reads. It could be a trap. It could be an item.
Now, I have a
that
question.
Was one of the coolest little treasure chests. Like,
is that like out of the straight up Mage Knight board game, or is that different?
I think it's different. I think there's Mage Knight and then there's Mage Knight Dungeon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think you might be able to use some of the heroes crosswise. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it.
I remember you had that game. I never played it.
But the chests are super
You can.
cool.
Jeff
Okay,
says you can.
Okay, so the disembodied voiceover editor says that you can mix those.
You can mix them, but they're not the same. Because I did get a copy of Mage Knight, but I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
But that's the Vlade Chavato.
It would be really cool if some other game could work those treasure chests into something else.
Right.
I thought they were done so well, and that game
That's
just
an
didn't
awesome
get
mechanic.
a whole lot of love.
Right.
So.
Right. Okay. So that's Hero Quest. That's my news for Hero Quest. It is. They needed like $1 million.
I know that was big. Yeah.
To fund.
And they blew it out of the water.
And then once they hit $1 million, they started production.
Well, I mean, isn't it Hasbro? So I mean, I don't think they really needed the $1 million.
Correct.
They just wanted to have an idea.
We'll get into it. But yeah, they hit the $1 million. They said once they hit the $1 million, they would start producing the game. So unlike other Kickstarters, we got to wait for it to end.
Right.
So fulfillment on this will be quicker.
That's good.
Also, it's Hasbro, right? So they've already got all the pieces in place, and I'm
They've
sure they knew it was going to fund.
Right.
They may not have waited, right?
Yeah.
But if they would even on the website though, it's like if it's $1 short, they're not doing it,
right?
And it's like, come on, we know.
Yeah.
But anyways, you have until November 6th of 2020 to get on there if that is your jam. I guess ironically or unironically, it will be it's about the same price as if you were to buy it off of eBay or the secondary market. It's so all those people that held their old Hero Quests and were trying to sell them for like $500 are now like, dang it.
No. Ship has sailed.
Yeah.
I have one little piece of news that isn't actually news because it evidently happened a month ago and I just never heard of it.
Okay.
How did I not hear about this? You guys have probably heard about this, and now everyone's going to say, like, Dan, you're an idiot. How did I never hear the Clank Adventuring Party expansion? Evidently, it came out a month ago.
Is that for the Legacy?
No.
What's the difference in the...
It's a new set of characters you can play in Clank. Wait.
Yeah, but no, the Clank, you're all the same.
Clank, you're all the same. Yeah, so what's the Adventuring Party?
So maybe it is for Legacy. It did not say that.
Because Legacy, you're playing specific characters, right?
Right, and you do get to kind of modify your starting
Then maybe
deck
that's why I haven't heard of
bit.
it. Maybe it's for Legacy. Again, I have barely anything on this because I just heard about this today before coming in. I was like, how have I not heard about this?
I saw that it was like an expansion for sale. I assume because that it was an Adventuring Party that it was for Legacy and not
It makes
OG
sense with what it is
Clank.
that it's for Legacy.
So I didn't look any
because
further
it just
at
comes with a bunch of asymmetric characters and a new
It's got to be
boss.
Legacy.
Yeah, well, no, not necessarily, because maybe now they're going to do the normal Clank, and maybe you do have an asymmetric character who says like, oh, this character doesn't have to stop in the woods, or this character can do because some of the. It's not too spoilery because it happens relatively early, but you get cards that you can then add to your starting deck.
Sure.
And you have one card that you get a roll, right? And so like, oh, if you are the explorer guy, then if you end your turn in a forest, you can take one extra move.
Oh, right
or, like,
on.
I have the I forget what it's called, but it gives me a gold, or no, it makes things cost one cheaper, and I can buy things from anywhere.
Oh, right on.
So I don't have to be like and so there's all these different abilities. So when you play the card, you get it. So maybe they're going to give you a player card now.
I'm hoping
that you can adjust the normal game.
Awesome. I'm hoping it's for normal Clank, but like I said, I don't know too much about
Clank.
Right.
I love Clank so much. So anything you want to do to improve on an already great game, why not?
Yeah, and I think that would do that. And,
yeah, the three things that I saw is it adds asymmetric starting decks.
Okay,
is what
cool.
It says.
Yep.
Cool.
It ups the player count to 6 players.
Cool.
Okay.
And it has a new boss to fight with some new boards and stuff.
Cool.
Right on.
Yeah.
So
maybe that is not
like
straight
normal
Legacy.
That
Clank.
doesn't sound like Legacy. It sounds like it goes on the normal.
Nice.
So if it is, I'm stoked.
Well,
yeah.
Then I'm glad you talked about it because I just ignored it because I assumed it was for Legacy, which I am not into yet.
Breaking news.
It's not that I'm anti-Legacy. I want to play it so bad, but it's one of those things where it's like, just don't even look at it until you're ready.
Right.
Like when because when you look at it, you're going to just obsess on it until you get it.
Yeah.
So I just...
Right. Been holding off.
Yeah.
Legacy. Don't look.
Yeah. I'll get there.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
But that's all I had. Clank Adventuring Party. I hope so. I'm so happy.
Yeah. Right on. Right on.
I have a small bit of news.
You're pregnant.
Nice.
No.
Who told you?
Yeah.
Dan.
I mean, come on.
You're so excited.
No, so I know Spirit Island. I love Spirit Island.
Right.
They do have an online version. It's pretty simplified where they have mostly just like the base spirits that you can play. But they are adding 2 new spirits to that. The serpent slumbering beneath the island and the heart of the wildfire.
I love the names of
I know,
the
they're cool.
spirits.
Are being added, and they're working on the branch and claw expansion now, which means my favorite spirit, the sharp fangs behind the leaves, where you get control of the beast tokens.
Yeah.
will be.
You know,
online
I'm
soon.
just gonna now hold out for He Who Walks Behind the Rose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the Children of the Corn reference.
Oh,
So I just want that
You'll
one.
be waiting a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, the names are cool. Like,
Yeah, no, they're really cool.
Yeah.
But every time I think of that, like the one good thing that came out of those movies was
Uh-huh.
like that interesting line
Right.
about like how they refer to
the people.
the evil thing that lives in the cornfield.
Right.
So when you say it's like digital, is it iOS? Is it Steam? Is it?
Yeah, it's on Steam.
Okay.
I play mine on iOS.
Oh, you
so-
do.
mhm.
So it is on iOS as well.
Mhm.
Right on.
Oh,
Have to
yeah.
look into that then.
Yep.
Cool.
I mean, I have Steam, but
I have
I'm
Steam
lazy and
on
do my-
iOS.
iPad. What? You have Steam on iOS?
Mhm.
Mm.
What?
Welcome to the 21st century, Tim.
Yep.
What?
It's not nearly as good as Steam on the
some
computer, but
some of the
it
games are
works.
Windows only,
Okay.
right? But then some of them
Okay.
are available on app. But then or on Apple. But if you have Apple, you can just use Boot Camp, which is like their new thing. I think it's in Catalina, and it boots your computer into Windows, and you can run all your. I do my Gloomhaven and everything else online
right
through
on.
that, and then I just click the button and it boots it back.
Speaking of,
boots it
that's
back up
kind
on
of news.
Apple.
Gloomhaven Digital is finally co-op.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
huge
that is
news.
very
I might
huge.
buy it now. I was waiting for that.
it's
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
pretty. It looks really good.
Yeah, it
They did a
looks
pretty
really
job
good.
with it.
I just didn't care about doing solo at all. And
Right.
then now
Well,
that it's
I
co-op.
got it to figure it out and learn it and stuff. And
Yeah.
now the multiplayer actually like, play it more.
Just saying, that's a way for you to learn the game for $15.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
It's
Tim.
true. But I already spent $100.
Yeah. You could pay me $15 and I'll
Yeah,
teach
that's
you.
true.
Yeah, hey, that works too.
It's true.
Yeah, so that's it, right?
Yeah,
Do we have your
that's it
permission to
for
move into
news. Can
Kickstarter?
we
now?
I think
Kickstarter
it's
now?
I
Is
think
it time?
it's time.
Is it time for
Kickstarter
Kickstarters
thing?
now?
Yeah.
Who's gonna go first? Because there's one that we're all should talk
This
about.
is a
it?
great week for Kickstarter for me. I'm
Yeah.
so excited about everything I have written down right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay.
it. I'm leaving.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
Dan's excited.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna start.
Go
ahead.
for it.
All right. So launching 9/29, so 2 days from now, so
Oh,
yesterday,
ahead
by
of
the time this
curve.
comes
I
out.
Right.
didn't even see it then.
Dungeon Fighter.
Oh, that's right. You
So
talked about that
cool.
like 2 months ago.
Dexterity. I know. That's why I got to get on these, before they're actually out.
I
so
tried
can beat
really
Tim the
hard to
punch.
get us a review copy of
I'm
Dungeon
actually
Fighter.
really sorry to tell you this, Bob. 2 months ago, when Tim said it was coming, he said, so when it does come out, I take credit for it being mentioned on the show.
Well, I wasn't here, or I don't remember that, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Because I probably didn't watch that episode.
Don't forget, I talked about Dungeon Fighter, so when that comes out on
Oh,
Kickstarter, that one's mine.
In a
in
month
perpetuity.
or in a couple months or whatever,
Yeah.
you're going to win.
3 years from now, I will be the winner.
So what is Dungeon Fighter, Bob?
Yeah, so it's a cooperative
Dungeon
dexterity
Fighter.
dice rolling game. Everybody has like asymmetrical characters. You're trying to make your way through this dungeon, and you're rolling like dice trying to kill monsters, but you're like behind the back or bouncing
You
off
played
the
this,
lid.
right?
Yeah,
you played this
we played
with Dave
Dave's
at
copy. Yeah.
my sister's house.
Yes. And it
It's
was a ton of
so
fun.
much
There's like
fun.
a target on the thing, and so as you roll, like where your dice lands, like on the target, it's
How much damage
how much
you do.
damage you do, like the effectiveness of your.
Yes, and there's like big old holes in the board, so
yeah,
if they
so
land in
like
there,
a
you
hole,
don't get anything.
Nothing, miss.
Yep, you
yeah,
missed.
Oh,
it
it's
is very cool.
So much fun.
1 to
It's-
6 players.
Yes, you have to just. You
Yep.
can't play this like in seriously, like go. Oh, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna beat Dungeon Fighter. Like
yeah,
no,
you can't be serious about it. It's
No,
it's just
just-
a fun game.
yeah.
You
Crack
pull the
open a
chairs out
beverage.
Yep, pull the chairs out from the table. Everybody kind of stands up around it and just goes
be ready
town
to be loud and laugh and
Yep.
have a good
and
time.
have fun.
God, I love Dungeon Fighter.
Yep.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
why don't you steal the
I'm worried
other one
about
I want to
stealing
do?
from you. So
No,
go
steal
ahead.
for it. Steal. Go for
Well,
it.
I don't know. I don't know
You're
which
gonna
one
do
we're
it.
going to talk about, but
You're
I'm
gonna
just
do
going to
it.
say, that one? No.
You're gonna do.
I'm going to talk about this one.
You're gonna do the one.
Because you're going to be interested in this, so I'm going to talk about this one.
Okay.
Seventh Citadel is finally on Kickstarter.
So is that a like
It's a
Seventh
sequel.
Continent?
Yes, it's a
Yes.
sequel,
Sequel.
to Seventh Continent.
Which I've never played, but looks interesting.
So
It
here's
does
the
look
thing with
interesting.
Seventh Citadel. Here's the one sentence well, okay. So first of all, 1 to 4 players by Serious Pulp. I don't know how to say that word. 18 days left. Super funded. I
Yeah.
wrote. I always
Yeah.
write super funded when it's that far ahead. It's $81 for May of 2022. See, now they
Ooh.
know
At least
what
they're realistic.
They know what
Yeah.
they're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, we know.
yeah.
So here's the thing. Here's the one thing I wrote about this game, Tim, with a question mark at the end. Seventh Citadel, Dune theme.
What?
Yeah, so it's instead of seventh continent or
It's
seventh,
Australia, right?
in Seventh Citadel. What I'm saying is it is now a post-apocalyptic fantasy world, and the world has been ravaged by giant sandworms.
Whoa!
And they're talking about all the story, and I just honestly stopped reading right there. It was
there
like
any spice?
It's like the Protectorate is trying to build back and something against the cult that's leading these sandworms and all this kind of stuff. And I was literally like, I've never seen a Reddit, but I was like, this is clearly references to Dune here. Like there's a drawing of a sandworm that's kind of cartoony. It's the artwork of Seventh
Right.
Continent, right?
right.
But yeah. So I mean, if you don't know Seventh continent. It's the same thing. It's like this. It's this story-driven game where you place out cards that have arrows on it, so the cards all make sense as to where you're building, and the stories make sense as to what card you're on. So like if you're on this card and you have to draw a certain scenario that's like, okay, this is what you're going through, make a decision. It's thematic to where you are. Like if you're in the desert, it'll be desert themed and stuff. So the thing they say is they claim 30 seconds to set up, 30 seconds to put away, like save and put away.
Wow.
So that's like the big thing that they say. But yeah, it's like this story-driven, it's kind of scenario-y.
Is it
co-op.
straight? Yeah, co-op
Yeah,
or solo.
Yeah, co-op or solo. Yeah,
because Tainted Grail plays similar, but Tainted Grail is much crunchier.
Sure.
Sure.
Yes.
Because I heard 7th Continent can take a while to play.
Yeah, no, it's supposed to. That's why
Yeah.
they make saving so easy. It's
Right.
it's about how you put your cards back in the box.
Yep.
But yeah, because they say each scenario, which I don't know how that works, should be 1,000+ hours.
Wow. That's a lot of game.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
But 7th Continent is incredible. I've never played it, but I've watched a lot trying to avoid spoilers. And now this, I knew this was going to come out. There's no way I'm going to be able to back it, but I'm happy.
I've got
that it's here.
7th Continent at home. I want to give it a shot.
That's
sometime.
cool.
It's
I'd love
still
to give it a shot
in the
sometime.
shrink. So.
Sure.
But yeah, I want to find a group that will sit there and play.
Put some
before I
time into
crack
it.
open.
I just wanted to tell you, hey, the new 7th Continent is out, and it seems to be Dune themed.
So, you know,
So-
we'll get it. Remind me. Put a pin in that and
Uh-huh.
remind me when we get to our top 5.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Because there's
Okay.
So
some
go ahead, Tim.
goes
I'm
on there.
assuming you're going to say this one. 'cause
No, I'm
it's-
gonna skip that one
Oh, wow.
because I'm gonna just tease it out. I'm gonna tease it out.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about Lost to Time.
Of
Lost to
course.
Time is right now on
Okay.
Kickstarter. It's like halfway there. There's still a lot of time in that game. It had a very good initial surge.
Uh-huh.
Then, like some Kickstarters, right? It kind of
Peter off.
tapered off a little bit. I'm hoping that it's a bunch of people just kind of sitting and watching and waiting to see. This game's really fun.
Yep.
This game is really fun. It's really intense. It's a good time. I think the price point is very reasonable. Look at Lost to Time. It is
Yeah,
a
it's
real-time tile placement co-op game.
Yep.
Takes like 20 minutes to play.
Yep.
And
you're on a
setup
timer,
and-
so it's not going to take any
Yeah.
longer than that.
And setup and teardown is really easy. The
Yeah.
nice thing about the real time is it gets rid of there's no time for somebody to quarterback the game.
Right.
Like there's no room for alpha gamers in there. You have to just kind of play.
Keep going.
And I really like that game and really want it to fund.
Yeah.
So Lost to Time.
All right. So Dinosaur World and Dinosaur Island, the roaring right.
Yes.
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 So there's 2 games on there. You can back them both or back them individually.
Right.
The Dinosaur World is a lot like Dino Island, except you have the dual-layer player boards like you do on the other one. You got your DNA dice like
Right.
you have in the other one, except now you're tile laying as opposed to just building your theme park, right?
Right.
You're still building your theme park, but you're also building it to where you can drive your Jeep around
Oh,
okay.
and do things. Yep. So 2 to 4 players, 60 to 120 minutes. It's super funded.
Oh yeah, because
and
it's
basi-
Phantosaurus.
Yeah, and
It's-
it basically it fixes what Dan doesn't like about it, the art, right? So it takes place after Dino Island, and it's like, oh, it's the next generation, and people were used to be scared, but now they're like, man, let's go see all this stuff anyway, right? And
just
if
like Jurassic
that's-
World.
yes.
A crappy
Wait,
sequel to
Jurassic
it.
World and Dinosaur World.
What?
What?
Copyright.
But if you do back on Kickstarter, you get metal coins for free, which is kind of
Yeah.
nice. I'm a fan of the metal
Like
coins.
metal coins.
And they're soon going to be releasing it on Tabletopia for you to check it out.
I
on
will
that.
say Panasaurus does really good job with their components.
Yep.
Their game components.
Yeah, they have all
are
the little dinosaur
always
meeples that you could
really
create and
good.
stuff
They're
too.
really good.
And then the roll and write, they call it a
Roar
meaty.
and write.
Sorry, it's what's called roar and write.
Oh, excuse
but
me.
they say it's a meaty roll and write.
Ooh,
Okay.
meaty.
So they say it's more similar to Ganshawn Clever.
Oh,
Ganshawn's
okay.
clever. Yeah,
I've never
you're so
played
clever.
it.
I love You're So Clever.
And they-
Ganshawn's clever is
And,
really
they
good.
say it's a lot like that, right? So 30,
Okay.
45 minutes, 2 to 4 players. You dice draft, and then you use them like worker placement.
Did they make that game?
Ganshawn's? No.
I didn't think so. That's
no,
just
no.
that's cool to see a company say like our game's kind of like this other game.
Yeah.
Like you don't see that a lot.
Right, so it's not like a simple like a Quicks roll and
No,
write. There's
Ganshawn's
more meat
was
to it.
bought and distributed by Stronghold,
Okay.
but they didn't make it either.
Sure.
Okay, but yeah, so that's what.
Right
what I
on.
got.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, so you can back them both together. You get a little bit of a price break, or you can back one or the other.
Sure.
I'm not gonna do it.
Challenge
I'm
accepted.
not gonna do it. So how about this one next instead? I am insanely happy to announce another thing I won't be able to back.
Uh-oh.
No, so I talked earlier in the year, Tim, that I thought I missed a Kickstarter for something that I was like, I am so upset I didn't hear about that because we weren't doing the Kickstarter segment back then. It was an RPG called Broken Compass. I had
I'm
talked about
aware
that
of
in the
Broken
past.
Compass, yes.
So it turns out, I didn't know that until it's live on Kickstarter right now, that when I missed it early in the year, it was the Italian-only version anyway.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
You
so,
don't the back of the game.
Yeah. So now the English
Pasta
version
Bazoola.
is on Kickstarter right
I'm
now.
just gonna say
So-
Italian foods.
Yeah, it's like
That's
I
the only
watched
Italian I
Sopranos the other
know.
day.
So-
Spaghetti.
Linguine.
And what is Broken Compass, you might ask? That's a great question, Tim. Thanks for asking. Broken Compass is, it's just an RPG book, right? It's like Dungeons & Dragons. But the thing that they say with Broken Compass that I'm obsessed about is they're like, so picture combining The Mummy, Uncharted, and Indiana Jones into an RPG
Okay, sure.
book series.
Okay.
So high adventure in the Middle East?
I mean, wherever,
Sure.
right? Because the whole point is they pick different ones that have all the different things. And the archetypes that you choose from, warrior and barbarian stuff, it's like, it's basically Indiana Jones, Laura Croft. What's the guy from The Mummy's name? O'Connell.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah,
Something O'Connell.
That
Rick
skinny,
O'Connell.
that skinny guy.
And Nathan Drake from Uncharted, right? Like you're picking their
That's
character.
funny.
His friend
Yeah.
that was in The Hangover as
and
well.
it looks so cool. I love the art style for this game. I love the idea of this playing an RPG where you're like thieves, kind of. You're all
Right.
like this
Yeah.
treasure hunting thieves going together on these adventures, and the rival system. I love the theme that they put into this. So like in Dungeons & Dragons, right? You have like the compendium that is like, I don't know what they call them, but like mini bosses, right? Or like rivals is what I'm calling them here. In this game, they are set up to look like the rivals and the something else, I can't remember what it is, are set up as passports. And you're flipping through the pages and it will have a passport picture and all the information for the characters that you
Nice.
can choose as the
I
rival.
like it.
Everything is so well done and thematic. The rule book looks like a big, thick leather journal.
Nice.
Like it's so good
check it
looking,
out.
man. What else? 15 days left. It is already funded. That's good. Now it is though. It's expensive. I mean, these books are always kind of expensive, and this is
Right.
a whole kit. So I guess that makes sense, right? But so it's from $81 to $134. So I don't honestly know what all you get there, except obviously you get the main rule book, and you get like the 2 passport things that are for characters and all that kind of stuff, right? You get like this big map-looking thing, I think, that I don't know if that's just theme or if that's actually like a Gloomhaven kind of thing, where you have like a map that you can go around, right? But I'm just stoked, man. Indiana Jones and Nathan Drake are 2 of my favorite characters of all time.
Sure.
And then Laura Croft and Rick O'Connell are cool too.
Whatever, yeah.
That's it. Broken Compass, the RPG.
And I will say, man, RPGs have come so far.
Yeah.
I remember,
My day.
well, being younger, it was like we go to the game
Right.
store. They had like a secondhand section, and you're like, find some old D&D books, some old Star Wars books.
And you're calculating THACO with a calculator.
Yeah, but it's awesome. I love like how
far it's come.
far it's come, and like the awesome like kind of components that just add to the theme of it. And
RPG is also a thing very much like MMOs to me. I don't love MMOs, honestly, video games. I play some, but they are something that I think almost every single theme needs one of. Like, I want like a Dragon Ball Z RPG. I want a Highlander RPG where we're all trying to be the one, right? Like, I want everything.
One,
So,
but
yeah. See, exactly. That's what I'm saying,
there
though.
is one.
I'm
but
just saying,
whatever.
like, everything
not
should
that
be
I played
that.
it, but I might have played it before.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Yes.
All right, let's do another one. This week, Thursday, so right around the time this episode airs, coming to Kickstarter, one that I know this guy's interested in, Mini Steel. Mini Steel. Boom! Got him! So Mini Steel by Grimoire Games.
Yeah.
It is, what, 2 to 4 players?
Yep.
A lot of bang in just this
Little tiny box.
Little
yeah.
tiny box.
That was a lot of fun.
We do have a review for it up by my eye, I think is where Bob pointed.
That's right.
No, man, it's an awesome game.
Yeah.
It is a really awesome game. It's only going to be like $16. It's got a nice low price point. It is not take that, but it is competitive. You are knocking out your other players.
You got to attack people.
I'd call it.
You've got to
Right.
attack people.
Take that.
Yeah, I say that every time I do something in a game.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like I'm playing smartphone. I'm like, take that.
It's like, I
That's
don't
not
even
how that
know.
works.
Thank you, sir. I guess
That's why
I'll
I
take
keep
this.
losing.
Yeah, that's why you keep losing. You're like, take my phones. Okay, thanks.
But it is just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun
good
in a
time
little
with that.
box. And yeah, I'm
Cool.
happy. I'm really happy to see that Kickstarter come to, life, and I want it to fund quickly.
Yeah.
So then we can just relax
Right.
and see what they do with
Look
it.
forward to it coming out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Mini Steel, October
Nice.
3rd.
Well, okay. I didn't write this down, but nobody else has mentioned it.
Yep.
Return to Planet Apocalypse.
Oh yeah, go for it. I didn't write it down because I thought you were going to talk about it.
I thought you were going to talk about it, so I didn't write it down. So I was like, well, Tim will talk about that, so I'm not going to write it down. So I don't have anything written down, but yeah, that's out there. Go check it out. It's
Return to
huge.
Planet Apocalypse.
Yeah, the game's great. We've done a review on the initial game.
Yes.
And there's right. And there's so many cool
think
minis
it's out of
and stuff
sight,
in there.
but
It
it's
might
up
be out
there.
of sight. It's way up there. It's a big old box.
Yeah.
But yeah, check it out. It's a little pricey, but there's a lot in there.
It's pricey, but there is quality for the content, right? It is not just a lot of bluster. There is a lot of good stuff in there. It is way funded, right?
Yeah,
so
way funded. So then it's going to happen.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Co-op game.
Yes.
Yep. Push back the gates of hell.
Amazing minis.
Yep.
Amazing minis.
Oh yeah.
I have
Come on,
one
Dan.
more
I
before.
dare ya. I dare ya.
No, before I hit. I don't know which one you're talking about, Tim. So before I
You
go
gotta
for the
know.
big conversation, so guys, I am pleased to announce the third game now to come out in the last year called The Thing.
That's the one.
Yeah. Okay. So The Thing, the board game by Pendragon Game Studios. They also made a game called Last Aurora. Don't know what it is.
You know, oh man, did Pendragon make our Stay Out game? Stay
Oh,
away.
did they?
Stay away.
Maybe.
I'll have
I
to
don't
look that
know.
up. Oh my
1 to
gosh.
8 players.
Cut to 2-person. I look on the phone.
Yeah, exactly. 1 to 8 players, 17 days left funded, $92, December of next year. Now, Tim,
Yes.
well, you're on your phone. I mean, no, he's
Yes.
not. So there's just a couple things, right? This is the thing, the game. It looks incredible. It honestly looks like they took the Outpost 31. What's that one called?
Yep.
Something
Yep.
at Outpost
Infection
31.
at Outpost 31.
But they turned it into a meteor game.
It looks like they combined it with Who Goes There.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's some thing like the weather board and stuff like that. Like some of those things made me think that there was like they took things they liked from both of those
Sure.
games, and that's without like watching playthrough videos or anything like that. Like
Sure.
specifically,
Initial kind of.
but yeah, just reading over the Kickstarter and kind of seeing how it plays. That's,
So you get 2 cards at the beginning that are infected and uninfected, whatever. One person is infected. Everyone stuffs the card that they are under their little board. And then you go around and there's a team leader, and you're going around your turn. You're doing actions, similar to a lot of games like this with the Hidden Trader, where like, okay, I'm going to go to the kitchen. Bob, you're going to go here. You're going to go there. And then we all pass the captain 1 card face down, including 1 blind card that's added from the deck that we don't know what it is. The captain shuffles the card, so he doesn't know who gave what.
Pendragon Games.
Looks at him. Nice. He looks at him, and then he hands 1 card to each player, saying like, okay, you're in the kitchen. We need a repair action in the kitchen. We
Okay.
need this. But there's sabotage cards, right? So I'm going to have to give you the sabotage card, that kind of thing. And then there are 3 ways to escape at the end of the game. There is either you send an SOS to the chopper that is on its way. You have to repair a certain room to do that. You can fuel the Hellcat and find the keys, or you can repair your own chopper and get in. And then just like most The Thing games, right, at the end of the game, whoever gets in the vehicle, the Hellcat, whatever, then has to choose, starting with lowest suspicion order, who gets in with them.
Okay.
So then I choose, okay, Bob, you're lowest suspicion. Do I trust you or not? I trust you. You get in. Now me and you together choose the next lowest suspicious people, and you have to get out with every human player and no infected players, right?
That's
It's
tough.
really tough.
Yeah.
I
just go by myself.
It looks
See ya.
awesome. The pieces, the little fuel barrels that are all over, make it look so cool and
The
thematic.
components for this game look really neat. And yes, this same company, I don't know that it's same designers, but this same company, 2014, made a game called Stay Away, and it is a Thing social deduction game.
Yeah, which we just talked about because
Yeah.
I was saying I want to
Pass
play
We were
one.
talking about it last night,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, there is one, and it's great.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Dan is really good with coming up with ideas to games that are already out.
That's true. Yeah,
or
really good.
about to come out.
yeah, or
Yeah.
about to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only I could plan further ahead.
I know.
But yeah, The Thing. I'm excited because
One more thing,
Oh,
Tim. Did you
yes.
scroll down to the bottom of the Kickstarter? I don't know if this excites you, Tim, but I'm really excited. Guess what we could go home and do right now, Tim?
what's that?
They have this entire game on Tabletop Simulator right now.
Oh,
For
really?
people to play for free.
Wow.
Nice.
We could go play that right now.
What
I mean,
the heck are we doing here?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I've been
I'm-
Bob.
I'm in Tim, and Dan's a thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, obviously tonight is difficult, but I'm saying at some point,
Yeah.
we can literally play this game, and
Check
I'm
it out.
really
Cool.
excited.
The components and everything look really neat. The art looks solid. There's a lot of things going for this one. Like that look really good. Give me a lot of hope. It is an IP, obviously, that we love.
Right.
And so like I tend to be a little more critical of it because I want it to be good. Like I
Right.
don't want just a crappy Thing game. Like I
Right.
want good versions of it.
Right.
Infection Outpost 31 by right now is like the best implementation.
We had a ton of fun playing that at Geekway last year.
We have crazy stories when we play that.
One thing too, for Bob, I guess, because you know anything about it, I really like they almost took I mean, I don't know how long they've been working on this game, right? But they almost have a thing straight from Among Us in this game with the way the suspicion track works. Is at the end of every round or somewhere, there's a phase where everyone then gets pulled back to the meeting room where the next captain will send everyone out on their duties. And while you're in that meeting room, there's a suspicion phase where everyone chooses to either point at one player or like cross their arms and not vote. And every finger pointing at you ups you on the suspicion track one. Wow. So people choose who they think is most suspicious,
that's
and
cool.
That's what controls that track.
Right.
So it's just this time where everyone gets pulled into the room, and then everyone points at each other, and that's how you control suspicion. And then when you check people, so like if we both go to the kitchen to work on a job, and then something happens, I don't remember, where we check each other's little thing that says if we're human or not. So we have two tokens in front of us. So mine might say human and thing, meaning I'm the thing, and yours might say human and human. You pick one of mine, I pick one of yours, and we look at it. If you pick the one that says thing, you now, obviously without reacting, you're now the thing. You know that. And then after someone checks each other, so we've now checked each other, everyone at the table picks up their cards that say human and thing, shuffle them, and then take out the one that they are again currently, so yours would change. Right, and that's one of the ways infection spreads. Infection can also spread by being alone in a room with a dog, and the dog can spread it. But I love that everyone just finger pointing in the office. Fun. I love that. But the thing, the board game, it looks so good. Man,
cool.
I'm so glad that I like got into those movies again,
right.
And now all these games are coming out.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Last one I'll go to is Regency is coming soon. I don't remember the exact date for it yet, but Regency by Peak Games. It is a
tableau builder.
Tableau builder, right? Yeah, kind of historically based. You're trying to draw citizens of each caste of society to your kingdom.
Yep.
And your fiefdom. Yeah. And I think the original version didn't have this, but I think that there will be a little bit of asymmetry based on like your player type.
Yep.
And some advancements or adjustments made to some of the cards. But I think overall it's a pretty solid little game, like out of a box. And again, like a game that with like 4 players, I had a really good time playing. Like I wouldn't want to play with 2 players. Yeah. Like I would want to play with like
better at a higher player count.
Yeah, 4 or 5, where you could really kind of get some interaction going.
Yeah. Right.
And yeah, but I think that's something kind of keep your eyes out for. Is Regency is coming soon.
Yeah. Cool.
Any more Kickstarters?
Nope. That's all the only other thing I had was the hero quest information, but you already went over that.
Okay, cool.
It's on Hasbro Pulse instead of Kickstarter.
Yeah, Hasbro Pulse. They are not doing Kickstarter. They are doing their own crowdfunding.
Because they're Hasbro.
Right.
They can afford to. All right, guys. Top 5?
Top 5, where it happens.
5 pet peeves or things that board game companies do that we hate.
Yeah.
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 So this was really easy, but at the same time, I almost think it's too easy that there's going to be a lot of crossover.
I think there'll be some, because some things that we've all played games together, and there are some things that bother us.
Yeah.
I'm sure those will be on the list. But
and I don't get bothered nearly as much as them. So
yeah.
Unless it's smartphone.
No, then I just don't like bad games. That's a totally different thing.
But you do like bad games because you like Champions of Midgard and Villainous.
let's just all pick on games he likes.
Boom.
I know what's going on here.
Well, you like Villainous?
No, he said Champions of Midgard first.
Yeah, no, I didn't hit you with both barrels. I hit him with both barrels. You just got one.
Have you played Villainous?
I haven't played it, but I've watched.
You're fine.
Played multiple times.
You're fine.
Yeah,
you're fine.
Disney Villainous. Let's go.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So my number 5 is people that put out games called Villainous. No, just
that's
kidding.
Funny. I was about to say my number 5 is stop making games I don't like.
Wow. Yeah, I've got that one too.
No, I will say that I kind of pulled a Bob this time. Mine's more of a list. The order is kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, I'm kind of ordering mine. Like I knew like what ones were like 1 and 2, but the rest of them kind of like okay.
Yeah. This list could be nebulous as far as order goes. I'm fine with that. So who wants to start? Who wants to start with the haterade?
I'll go really quick because my first one is just really obvious and it's something that always annoys me, and that is I'm just gonna word it as not enough components, I guess is what I'm going to word it as, and that goes for Ziploc baggies, which don't really happen anymore.
Okay.
That tends to be something that companies are good at now.
Yeah, they start to include a little bundle of baggies.
Yeah, and the other thing that really annoys me that does still happen a lot is not enough dice for what the game wants you to do.
Oh,
yeah.
Like,
don't worry.
Can you imagine if like Dice Town, you know Dice Town, right? Imagine if that game came with 5 dice.
Right, but here's the thing. Here's what they do, though, and
They
this is
offer you
annoying, is, oh, buy more dice.
Exactly.
And it's
Sure.
like, no, give me enough dice to
I
play
need.
the dang game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like
I have one die. Okay, you pass to the next person. Okay, you pass to the next person.
Exactly.
You pass to the next person.
or it's not even that, right? We each have 2 dice, which is what we need, but then like you have the ability to level up to 3 dice, but there's only enough dice for each to have two dice. So once you level up,
You're
you have to start
constantly borrowing.
taking other people's dice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's like
pretty annoying.
just give us enough dice. You know what your game
Yeah.
does.
Give us what we
So
need to play the game.
That's something that just
Or
always
store
gets
it.
me when there's not enough dice or Ziploc baggies. There's other examples too, I'm sure, but those are the 2 big ones.
Oh,
that
that's good.
Don't
That's
get
pretty
enough.
good.
That's
Yeah.
good. No crossover here.
Yeah, no crossover on that one.
What you got, Bobby?
I got odd-shaped or oversized cards.
Oh, okay.
You know, like, because I have like, a bunch
Space-based.
of different types of like sleeves. Yeah, like those are weird shaped card. Why? You
Yeah.
know. And it's either like you put it in a sleeve, and I know there's different size sleeves, but like, or it's and there's too much plastic on the one side and it bends, or there's too much plastic across the top and it bends. You know, it's like make them. There's like 2 standard sizes. Pick one.
Yeah.
You know, it's like to put a third size in there, kind of just mess it up. Like
Well,
tarot
see-
size, it's fine. They make tarot size sleeves,
Right.
but when you have it too narrow, it doesn't fit right. If it's too short, it don't fit. Or if it's square,
Quit being cute
they're
with it.
hard to shuffle. You know.
And
So,
like
yeah.
Space, see, they made their own cards, and then they were like, oh, we'll make our own sleeves too, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
So yeah, or like with Theomaki, he's got like those large, you know, ones, and
Yes.
like that doesn't fit in anything. And
can't
it's a super
put-
nice card.
Yeah.
and you can't protect
There's
it anyway.
no way to protect
yeah, and
those
it's
amazing
unfortunate.
cards.
So,
Yep.
that's my number 5.
All right.
Mhm.
I have a problem when companies theme a game with no regard to the IP itself.
Ooh, yeah.
Where they're just
So
gonna
paste
slap-
it on theme. Okay.
Yeah,
Right,
you're
slap
just
it
gonna
on there.
slap on D&D, or you're gonna slap on Firefly, or you're gonna, you know,
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
That never happened.
I know,
What?
right? Well, and Cthulhu is the easy one, right? It's public
Blasphemer!
domain. It's public domain character, right?
Exactly.
So anybody can use it
Can
without
take
having
it.
to pay for the rights.
Yeah.
And there's already a bunch of people that love Cthulhu stuff, and
Right.
it will at least look at it because
Right.
it's Cthulhu, and then you're like, why am I wasting my time?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm not saying the game has to have like an amazing theme and it always has
Right.
to work, but don't
Don't
just,
feel slapped on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're saying you want them to do the theme justice. Like
yeah,
Yeah.
if you're gonna
Yeah.
say like this is a this themed
Right.
game, like give it to me.
Yeah.
Give
Yeah.
me
Don't say it's something I love, then ruin it.
right.
Yeah.
So that's
That's fair.
mine. That's my
Sure.
my number
Okay.
5. It's just
Sure.
annoying.
That was
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, yeah, it's okay. That's why it was 5.
Very good.
So here's something that's more of a me thing because I am a poor little man.
Games called smartphones.
Games
Yeah.
on my smartphone. No, I when there are like Kickstarter exclusive stuff, and not even just Kickstarter, but just exclusive stuff in general, where you have to spend money in different places and stuff like that, I can't, and it's really depressing to me when it's important stuff. I don't care if
Right.
it's not important stuff.
Right, if it's
different
just a
art
little whatever.
style.
Oh,
you
there's a
get,
different colored
you get a
dice,
new
big deal.
character. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like there are some games where there's like
It'll
important
change. Yeah,
game
it kind of
stuff.
changes the game a little
And
bit.
it's just like, well, I can't do that, so I
Mhm.
guess I won't play your game, you know.
Yeah.
And that's just really depressing for someone who cannot go out of their way and do that stuff to be shown that, and I just know I will never be allowed to play that. So
Right.
cool, I guess. So yeah, just the exclusives should stay as aesthetic things or bonus things that do not affect gameplay in any
Sure.
way. Like extra characters is the obvious example, like I said earlier. You know,
I mean, I do get the wanting to reward. Like,
I get
backer
that
stuff.
too, and,
if
like-
you want to reward backers, give them their product before you put it in the store.
That's
It's
true.
So
That's
frustrating. I
true.
didn't put that on my list, but I should have.
And
like,
timed
calm down,
exclusives, timed exclusives are totally fine.
Yeah.
Kickstarters get the thing a year before the expansion actually comes out.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
I can get it eventually.
Right.
You know, that's what
It's
matters.
not like, oh, it was only made this one time and now it's $500 on
yeah,
eBay.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
Okay.
just a personal depressing one for me.
And I also say don't feed that beast.
Yeah.
Let those
I try.
eBay
I try
people
not
starve.
to. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all. You're fine. So that you're good.
Yeah, that's
All right.
it.
You feel better?
A little. No, a bit worse.
When I don't like it when they don't include a player aid or like a turn summary.
Did I have?
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like some games are great. You get a little sheet that you give to each player. It's got the turn summary on there. It breaks it down so nobody's getting lost on what's going on when. But when they don't have that, it's super frustrating.
Yeah, that's a really
Back
good
of the
one.
rule book's a great place to put it.
It's
You know, it's like
exactly.
boom, there it is,
That's
and then you have a
might be
little
the
page
best
number. Yeah.
Yeah, or
place.
like
oh,
first page.
here's
or
this. You
something
want a
like
more
that.
detailed version? Go to this page number. Okay, cool. There's the breakdown of it. Like
And I would
Perfect.
say also the rule book should have a components list.
yeah,
I think they
Oh,
should all have a
they
definitely.
should.
components
Yeah,
list.
most do. I haven't.
Not all, but
Really?
but there are
getting
many
better.
that do.
Yes.
There are many that do, but not everyone does.
Yeah.
I feel like we'll talk about more about this later, though.
Okay. Cool. My bad.
Okay. So number 4, Tim.
My number
Well-
4, expansion that only adds like an extra player or a solo mode.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Like don't just
By
make
the,
that
it's
like
a 5th player expansion. Okay, just make it part of the game.
Yeah.
Or add more content to it.
Yeah, give me other things with that
Right.
and not just. And also don't make that other stuff reliant on having a fifth player.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Like you can play it without a fifth player.
Right.
Okay.
So like Blood Rage had the extra faction like expansion, but it's all it is an extra faction. It's not asymmetrical. It doesn't do anything else. It's just new sculpts.
Yep.
I love Blood Rage, but that's a garbage expansion.
Yep.
It is a garbage
And
expansion.
people buy it.
They
Because
do.
you want to play the game with 5 players.
They do. I was in on the Kickstarter, had like all in, so I got it anyways. I didn't have
Correct.
to go out of my way. But
To get
anybody
it.
that goes and buys a retail
Yep.
has
Has
to
to
then
get that
go
fifth player
track down
expansion.
this stupid fifth player expansion that does nothing.
Yep.
But add a fifth player. I mean,
Right.
which is fine, but like, just
Right.
make it 5 players.
Right, include it with the Gods of Asgard. Like something like that. Like add more content to it too, besides having it be.
Yes.
But that would raise the price point on it and make it a little bit more difficult as well.
It's fine.
But yeah.
Because you're
I see what
already
you're
making
saying,
the money
though.
off of the one thing, so you just combine the two things.
Right.
I just don't like. I don't like the nickel and diming. I feel like that's a
Right.
cheap
This
way.
is a great game. Would you like dice? Add $2. Would
Yeah.
you like to play with 5 players? Add $20. Would
Right.
you like to do this? Yeah.
Just give me
Yeah.
the dang game. Give me a solid game all in one box.
Yeah.
Boom, done. Okay.
Am I next?
You're
Sure, go
next.
ahead.
Good, because my next one is expansions that should have been in the base game.
Wow.
So-
Hey, wait.
We were about there,
wait.
right? We were about there.
Am I next? Expansions and inserts that don't hold the expansions when they're pre-planned. So if you're gonna make a game with expansions, make sure that they're included or that your insert will hold it and everything else.
Dinosaur Island.
Yeah.
Looking at you, buddy.
Yeah.
basically. That game barely holds the base game.
I know.
Or the
Yeah.
box, I mean. But yeah, so expansions, the obvious examples are things that have already been covered. It is like extra player expansions, or even, like I said, there are dice expansions that just add things that clearly should have been in the base game.
So here's an example of that a game that did it right. Taverns of Tiefenthal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Taverns, right?
Yep.
There's like 5 modules in that game,
Yeah.
right?
But it's
A
all right
lesser, a crap company would have made you have to buy the
Exactly.
different modules.
Yep.
And it's
like,
like,
oh, $10 for each of these modules. And yeah, it's like, no,
And
just,
that's kind of the route that Viticulture took eventually, too, right? Viticulture had this, and then they're like, okay, well, these are clearly the best expansions. And then eventually they're like, just buy this version. It has everything that you need. It's
Yes.
the best stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, they
So-
figured it out. They
Yep.
gave you a good version in the box.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, so I don't really have anything else to sum up here. You went
No.
in for a little bit. Yeah, just if don't hold back something that should obviously be in the base game because it affects gameplay, or adds something meaningless.
Because if you
and small.
fix the game later, if you're like 2 years later, you come up with an expansion that really corrects a lot of things, just do a second edition and
Yeah,
fix it like
that's a way
viticulture,
better way to do it.
Right.
like the viticulture.
well, people who have the first edition will still want the fix.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know what I'm
but
saying?
you can do that too. I
right,
mean, you
offer
can-
that, but then be
yeah,
like, yeah,
get your
here's
upgrade
all of
kit.
it together.
You got an upgrade kit, or you just get the new version of the game.
Correct.
That has everything.
And you can go. That's it. So you can go slightly more in depth on yours, I guess.
Yeah, so like sometimes you'll be, especially on Kickstarter, they're like, oh, here's this game. Oh, and here's this expansion. We're making this custom insert for this game. Okay, well, it doesn't fit the expansion that you're offering with the game. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I don't want 2 boxes. I want
Yeah,
one
then
box.
You gotta
Everything
buy
fits
one
in
of
there
those
nice and
giant
neat.
boxes.
It's
That's like
so
double
annoying.
boxes.
Yeah. It gets annoying. Well, you're trying to say my Spirit Island thing? Is that
No, I'm
oh.
saying. No, I'm saying.
I thought that for a second.
Yeah.
but-
No, there's a lot of games that do it. Like Dark Souls has it, right? Where the box is.
It's got lid lift.
yeah, lid lift. That
Yes.
that idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the lid lift.
Mhm.
I'm not.
I mean, it's imposing. It's a
Yeah.
cool looking thing to point out and be like, that's my Dark Souls.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, so I guess
All right.
that's
So you guys. So we're on number
teamed up on
number
that.
3
So
now.
yeah, now we're down to 3 to
3.
Dan to 3.
Dan
It's
to
back
3?
to Tim.
Is it my 3?
You and then my thing and then his thing all tied together in a big chain. So it's back to you.
Did.
Okay, so we're on
Alright.
number 3.
Sure.
Go ahead. I don't care.
Well, no, that was 3. I'm on to 2 now.
You're on a 2, so I
Yeah.
need to do 3.
Yeah, do your 3. You're the last 3.
Last 3. Expansions where the components don't match. Specifically, this just came up.
Oh, like the
new
cards?
I thought
Harry
about
Potter expansion. The backs of the cards,
Different
Yeah.
color.
different color, and also there's different sizes. So if you put the decks
Oh,
together, they
that's
stick
crazy.
out.
Yeah.
That's
Right?
horrible.
There
Yeah.
are some expansions for DC Deck Builder where the
Do the
cards
same
are just
thing.
slightly,
Yeah,
Off.
King of
different
Tokyo
shade.
has the same thing where they change the back.
and it's like, come on,
Yeah,
guys.
I
Like
noticed
that's a
that.
simple quality control thing,
Mhm.
Yep.
and these are OP, right? OP
Mm-hmm.
is a big company. It is a huge company. You know, Cryptozoic is a huge company. There's no excuse. If we print a game and then we goof, okay, we're like nobodies. whatever, it happens.
Right.
We don't have a quality control department. You know, that might be us sitting at a kitchen table.
Right. And
Comparing stuff.
if you want to change something, okay, we get it, then throw in sleeves for super cheap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know, we realize the card shapes are a little bit different. You know, here's some super cheap sleeves. You can sleeve your whole game.
Sleeve it. We're going to sleeve it.
And fix that
Yeah.
problem.
Here are sleeves. Sleeve it.
Yep.
Anyways, I just saw that that was happening with the Harry Potter stuff, and it just made me think of other games where it's happened. And it's like, that is terrible.
Yep.
That is terrible.
Yep. That is
Inexcusable.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Okay.
My next one, I believe, ties into what you just said. I didn't realize this until I looked at it. So I called this one publishers who are bad at Tetris.
Is that fitting stuff in there?
Fitting stuff back in the freaking box.
Yeah. And like it fits when it's new. Then as soon as you punch everything out, it doesn't fit.
And I don't even mind if there's like that tiny, you know, you get that little couple
bit of
millimeter of
yeah.
I don't care about that. That doesn't bother me at all. But like when you cannot get everything back, because they don't, it's like they don't understand that the pieces pop out of those boards and are no longer flat boards.
Yeah,
like
they're not laying perfectly flat inside that box.
I don't understand. It's so obvious. But no, I hate it so much when I can't fit stuff back in boxes. It's so depressing to me.
It's probably my biggest mark against smartphone is, I mean, I got everything to fit in there, but it has to go a certain way to get it all to fit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm trying to think of a
So
really
I dropped
bad
it
example.
from like a 10 to a 10 for you?
Yeah, it's like a 9.9.
9.9 repeating, and then I round up.
It was a 10.1 and down to a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a really bad example I have, but I really don't have too much currently.
Oh, the original Cthulhu
I
Wars
avoided
insert
at all
was
costs.
absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
They had a big plastic thing that fit all of the gods in it, the elder gods. And then basically you pulled that out, and underneath was a big baggie of everything else stuck in there. And you couldn't, it was really like you had to figure out like how to put the bag in underneath the insert. It was terrible.
Yep. I found the same thing with a lot of the Simon games, like the Zombicide.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
Now they fixed it. Like when in future editions, they have fixed the Cthulhu Wars stuff, fixed it. But yes, Simon,
you got to use
so
the
many
trays,
minis.
or especially if you paint your minis, you want to keep them in the trays. But if you keep them in the trays, then everything is hard. You got to put baggies up underneath the bottom side of all the things.
And then there's also no room for any of the expansions in the box because I mean, you can't even fart in that box without it going back up. It is terrible.
I have a couple games that I had this problem on. I just can't remember what they are because I just wind up throwing away the insert. So the box is empty.
Yeah.
And then everything fits fine.
Yeah. And then
I just don't want to have to do that.
I do that as well.
Yeah.
Do that as well.
So yeah, I know my Lords of Hellas pops up a little bit. I don't have the fancy case like you. I have the normal
one.
Well,
I had the all-in Kickstarter, so I got the Warlord box.
Exactly.
Yep.
And but again, I threw out all those inserts.
Oh, you
and
did?
so like all the base game stuff is in like the core box.
Oh,
and then all of the minis are in the Warlord box.
Okay.
See, I haven't gone that step yet because those minis look kind of fragile, and I'm nervous about breaking some. So I've got all my boxes for Lords of Hellas.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I just learn how to play Tetris. I shouldn't have to be extremely good at Tetris just because you're so bad at it.
Yeah.
Or you just don't even take the time to look at
Get some
it.
engineers in there to figure that out.
Yeah.
Someone who's really good at spatial, interior decorators maybe. They're good at spatial awareness.
That's true.
And again, it's not like it's a brand new thing in the industry.
Exactly.
There are people that do that and can figure it out.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So yeah, my number two.
Number two.
Flat player boards.
You need that dual layer.
So I love the dual layer. It's so good. Yeah. So okay, Terraforming Mars, Blood Rage.
So flat player boards when it's like when there's components that are constantly moving around.
So if you've got a flat player board and you got to keep tokens and icons and things on there, and any kind of bump or move or anything, and everything's sliding all over the place. So aggravating. It's not that much more. Make a dual layer player. It makes it so much nicer. The Dinosaur Island dual layer player boards. Oh, my cubes are right where they want them to be. They never slide around. Oh, was it on 5 or 6? No, I'm on 5. That's where it's at. Yeah, I hate those boards. And that's why I think the Terraforming Mars stuff has done so well, like the broken token insert.
Oh, sure.
And the everything.
Because
because the original ones are the biggest
But again,
problem
that
with the
goes
game.
with the pet peeves, right? Like make the game right the first time.
Correct.
Exactly.
Well, at least in the Terraforming Mars thing, most people don't buy the dual layer player boards from the company themselves.
Yeah,
it's Etsy and it's stuff like that.
And again, though, what a huge missed opportunity.
Oh,
Correct.
sure.
Yeah.
What a missed opportunity.
Yeah, they could have
for a very
really
good
made
game.
it super nice and then even up the price a little bit. People would be like, man, look at these player boards are even awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. For me, don't update an old game with crap art. Looking at Coliseum.
Sheriff of Nottingham.
Dune.
Yeah,
the new Dune art isn't great.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I didn't care for it.
Sheriff of Nottingham.
Sheriff
of Nottingham. How do you have like such nice, colorful, vibrant art?
I was just telling, because I played it the other day, I was just telling everyone about how terrible the new edition looks.
Like, don't.
Yeah.
Don't. Like, just either, if you don't have the rights to the old art, and again, these are by big companies.
Right.
Like,
Get another
you've
artist.
got artists.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably crowdsource the art and come up with better art than some of these things.
Or clip art, evidently, is what Sheriff of Nottingham went with. Let's just put an apple on a white background. It's not clip art, but I'm just saying
it's terrible.
It's like they did not try.
It is really ugly.
I haven't seen the new edition.
It looks like placeholder art.
Well, you know the old stuff for Sheriff of Nottingham, right? So it's like a green card with that brownish like border, like it looks like that Robin Hoodie color scheme.
Yeah.
It has like a bundle of apples spilling
and then it's
out
like
of it,
spilling out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the new card is literally, it's like a brown border or something. It has a border color on a white background that's like kind of distressed white with a single apple picture just in the middle of the white box. And that's everything. So like, the silk is just white background with a picture of a silk cloth or whatever.
Of silk.
It's horrible looking.
Yeah. Okay.
It's such a downgrade.
Ugly.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even like, this isn't great. No, it is just, it is.
I've seen the
hard on the
Coliseum
eyes.
difference. It's a
Yeah.
huge difference. on
Yeah,
that
the
one.
Coliseum difference is huge, and I hear like that the gameplay is like the same. You know what I mean? Like the gameplay and everything is still there. It's
Right.
just, we just crap out all the aesthetics.
Yeah,
Like
I've actually heard that gameplay-wise, the newer one's actually slightly better, but
right
everyone's
because
like,
they streamline it a
they're
little
like,
bit.
give us the old art back, please.
Yeah, and I get it. It's a different company that put out the new
Sure.
one, so I get it if you don't have the original art.
Of course.
But again, like there's playtesters.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
even
can shoot for
early
something close,
early
though.
reviews were even like, and it's not like that kind of art from the original game is that hard to reproduce because it's
Exactly.
more of like a classical art kind of style. You can do that easily.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it just really is frustrating.
Yeah.
I would even say like Glory to Rome. Like there's like a really fancy version of Glory to Rome, which I don't have, but I have the like over the top cartoony, like that came in a clamshell version. If I wasn't aware of that game's reputation, I would look at that game by the art and be like, oh no.
Right.
Like, no. It's like Munchkin level art.
Ooh.
And Munchkin is fine because Munchkin
That's what it is.
Munchkin's trying to be funny and
Right.
cheesy and cheap looking, right? Like that's Munchkin's shtick.
Right.
You know, they want to look like that. Glory to Rome is like this really famous, like all-time, top 100 game. And then there's this print of it that is just garbage artwork. So that's me. Your number one?
My number one.
Might be a lot of crossover on this
It
one.
might be a lot of crossover on this one. You guys all ready to
We've
talk? at the
barely
same
had any
time?
crossover,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, but this was the big one. I knew this was going to be my number one, and I'm waiting. They have both had issues with this in the last week. So, hey, guys, please, play test and work on your rule book. It's, literally the most important part of the game.
Yeah.
If I can't learn how to play your game, I won't play your game.
Yeah.
I won't buy your game. I won't keep your game if I already bought it. The rule book is the most important part. The amount of times where I've set up a game starting and I'm just like, let's play something else. I cannot get through this right now. I'm too stressed out, you know? So yeah, I don't know. Is that also yours?
I have a specific thing about the rule books that I'll go
okay.
into, but more on your point. But yeah, like the organization.
Mine's
right?
completely
Yes.
different.
Hey, okay.
But I do hate this.
Yeah.
So much.
Because yeah, sometimes I think the information's in the wrong spot,
Yep.
or if I can't you should give your rule book to people who've never played the game and
Exactly.
say, here, you learn to play the game with the rule book. And if they can't
Exactly.
do it, you need to have it organized. But
Yep.
my big thing is square rule books. I hate them.
Oh, okay.
You get it, it's the same size as the box, it fills up the whole thing.
Oh.
I hate it because a lot of times they don't come with player aids, right? So I'm trying to make copies, and then, I'm cutting off half the page trying to make, and it's so frustrating. 8 by 11, okay? It's the standard paper size. Everybody use it. 8.5 by 11. You make normal copies. You make player aids for people, and it makes it a lot easier to learn a new game. So you're not waiting on one person looking at a book. You can make a second copy of critical parts for somebody else.
That's true. You
And
do that a lot.
I do because it's helpful, and because I hate I'm sitting here trying to read and figure it out. And everybody else is just like, no,
Yeah,
not paying attention.
I remember when we first played Brass, you literally were like, you had
here you go, here you go.
handout
Yeah.
rule books for everyone. It was nice.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes
but
it so
don't
much
make
easier.
square rule books. They're dumb. Nobody likes them. Okay, I've never met a single person like I prefer a square rule book. No. Okay.
Yeah.
8.5 by 11.
So what? Smartphone rule book is weird though.
It is
That's
weird. Yeah, but that's the great thing about that game is it was taught to me by Patrick, right? So he was a really good teacher on it, and then it's got all the turn sequences laid out right there on the board, so you rarely have to reference the rule
No,
book.
at all. I only brought it up.
I know because I love that game so
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
It's not square.
It's not. It's not.
It's not square.
Yeah,
you
rule
can
books-
make a
But it's
copy of
not
it
8
long
by
way.
11. But you could.
There's
Yes.
just certain things with rule books you have to do, right? Like have a glossary that links
Yes.
back to everything easily. Have
Yep.
a picture of what the game looks like set up at the beginning. beginning of the game. Have
Yep.
a component list, like you mentioned earlier. And obviously, like you were saying, have not only things in the correct place that makes sense for where you are in the game when it's teaching you, but then some rule books do that really cool thing where it explains the whole phase, and then it'll have like a little different colored box that kind of sums up everything it just talked about on that page.
Yeah.
Like, okay, to set up the game, you're going to draw cards, do this, do this, do this. Okay, cool. If you really need to more, like the first time you play, you look at the big paragraph. Every other time you play or teach it, you just look at the small paragraph. And oh, yeah, that's what I do. That's right. You know, there's a certain thing you should follow with rulebooks, and it blows my mind that people still don't.
Yeah,
right.
You know? It's clearly a proven method, and they just choose not to follow the proven method.
Like, literally, I was playing this game the other day, and it describes this space on the board. It says, okay, here's this. For more on that, go to this page. So you go to that page, but then it's the event page, but it has the hero events and the monster events. And so it's like, when you activate that, you're only dealing with the hero events. But all jumbled together in that thing. It's like, oh, when you activate this, and when you activate this, you activate the horror event. I'm like, well, wait a minute, you could do the horror event. Why would you want to activate the horror event? And it just caused so much confusion. It's like, look, this part is for this phase. Put it all right there. I shouldn't be jumping 3 different spots trying to figure out what one little icon on the board does.
I remember a really funny thing happening in Nemesis, which isn't a horrible rule book, but there was a really funny thing that happened in Nemesis that we found out eventually, but it literally is talking about a certain phase, and it says go to page 15 for more detail.
Yeah.
And you go to page 15, and then it talks a little bit about the phase, and it says go back to page 6 for more detail.
Yeah.
And so you get in this infinite loop where they're just saying to reference each other, and I was like, is this a joke?
Yeah.
Oh my
It
God.
was so funny.
Oh, that is stressing me out just thinking about it.
So,
That's terrible. Yeah, no, I am 100% on board with the bad rulebook train, but this took precedent for me.
This is crazy because I thought Tim's number
Yeah.
one was easy.
Oh,
After
it
that
should have been.
Mezzo
It should have
day.
been. It should. Man,
I didn't bring it up.
pisses
Sorry.
me off.
Sorry.
No, but this kind of is two things combined. I don't always love seeing big companies doing their own like crowdfunding.
Because you know they don't need it.
Hasbro does not need it.
Yeah.
CMON at this point, I know CMON got their start there, right? But they do not need it.
Yeah.
And they just give you all those exclusives just to make you do it.
It's just
Stonemaier
pure
got away
marketing.
from it. They had their reasons,
Yep.
right? And I get it. And Stonemaier is small but big, right? Well known, but it's a relatively small company. But the big dogs, like Queen Games uses Kickstarter as a pre-order service.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. And then
That doesn't seem like as bad, right? Because then you kind of get an idea of how many you want to print if it's just a pre-order thing.
Yeah,
as long as you're not saying
well,
if
no,
you don't
but
order it,
here's
you're
the
not going to
thing.
get these things with it.
But here's the thing, Bob, though, is that what Queen Games does is you back their game, and then 3 months later, you get the game. It's not like they're waiting to make it. They've already got it. They've already got it. If you look at some of the older Queen games, there's a lot of times where they do it where it's like, oh, this is going to fill in like 3 months. And it's not like Edge of Darkness, for example, when they put out their Kickstarter, like for the expansion, but you could get the base game like right away.
Right.
And then they'll send you the expansions when they're
it's ready,
done,
right.
right? For people who missed out on the first time. I'm cool with that. I think that's great. That's awesome. But also then, specifically Hero Quest, okay? Like, I was excited for Hero Quest. I loved OG Hero Quest. This is a game that is over 20 years. I mean, it's 30-year-old game, right? Around that
20,
area.
30, 40. Oh my God, I'm so old.
It's about a 30-ish-year-old game,
Uh-huh.
okay? From what I can tell, they have changed no rules.
They said it's so funny in every single sentence at the bottom of that page that Q&A. Are the rules any different? We have slightly updated the rules, but you shouldn't expect anything that
Nothing really changing.
anything new. And then it's like, is there any gameplay elements that have changed? We have looked at the gameplay elements and maybe slightly tweaked them, but you shouldn't expect anything. They're literally just saying it's the exact same.
Because here's
frickin'
my
game.
problem. Here's my problem. In the 30 years since Hero Quest has come out, there are 100 games that do the exact same thing better.
Yep.
Better.
Implement some of those new mechanics.
Better. They do it better. Even Descent has improved on itself, right? There's Descent First Edition. They made it better with Descent Second Edition. There is Third Edition coming out. Mansions of Madness has improved dramatically with their Second Edition. I mean, Fantasy Flight has taken all of those things, and every time they do like a new one, I don't feel like it's a ripoff because they're improving the game.
Right.
They're making it better. They're adding stuff. And it was so frustrating to see like, oh, well, the components are better. It's the same game with upgraded,
slightly nicer mini.
Yeah, they
slightly
literally
nicer
say, no, you don't
minis.
understand. There's like 71 miniatures now. That's just how they end every sentence. No, you don't understand. There's like 71 miniatures now.
It's so frustrating. And they're also like anybody outside of like the United States or some sections, like it won't ship to Quebec. Is that like
just Quebec, Canada? That's
right?
it.
But the rest of Canada,
Those
it
dark
will.
Canadians.
But it doesn't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
like
It's so weird.
it's really weird.
Yeah.
It really was off-putting.
The developer had a really rough childhood in Quebec.
Maybe made fun of
I was
like,
really
French people
excited.
there. I don't know.
I was really excited and wanted to see like what they would do like new with it. Now I'm not gonna because I thought Restoration Games was gonna do something, and they don't bat 1,000 for me either because I thought the Fireball Island re-implementation
Felt lacking.
very lacking. And again, you're updating a kids game.
Right.
You know,
It's a kid's game.
They did some things, but it's a toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a toy.
I heard good things overall, but it was from people with not the highest expectations. They were just
Right.
like, I know what I'm getting.
Right, but like there are games that I will play with my kids, but I'm also going to play with you guys, and we're going to have a good time.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I am not going to play Fireball Island with you guys if I have the choice.
Sure.
And it's not because it's you guys. It's
Yeah.
because that is not a game that I'm going to have fun playing with you guys.
Right.
Like my 2 kids, we would have fun and we'd make a big presentation out of it and then we'd have a good time, but
Right.
they're going to outgrow it. And by the time that game's over, I'm going to be ready to be done with that, playing that game. So I just really, 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 really think that it is just underhanded and
Yeah,
crappy.
it's dirty.
It is underhanded and crappy because people are going to buy it. It stinks because there's people with the OG one that are trying to sell it, you know, and move their copies.
Oh, by the way, I won't even make this game unless you give me $1 million.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
disgusting. Come on, Hasbro, you're better than
You got
that.
tons of money.
You're better than
Doing
that.
all right.
You were
Yeah.
better than that. I mean, they would have made $1 million just announcing that they were going to reprint the original one.
Yeah, and have like a pre-order like thing. That's fine. Like sign up to get your
Yeah.
copy first or whatever.
Yeah, don't give me this pretension of
Yeah,
like,
if we don't fund, we're not gonna make the game.
Sorry
Yeah.
about the same game. We have no component changes.
But we're not
Yeah.
just yelling at Hasbro right now.
No,
Yeah.
it's a lot
It
of
just happens to be
companies.
the most recent.
A lot of companies
example.
do this. I think CMON needs to stop.
Yeah.
I think CMON just needs to sell regular games now. The Kickstarter thing, right? How many people got Marvel United from a big box store before the Kickstarter backers had it delivered?
It's so
Now,
frustrating.
yeah, you
They're
don't.
like, oh, you get the exclusives. Yeah, but I want my game
Yeah, I'm watching all these other people play my game like
Yeah.
I could have played.
that I paid for already. That I still can't play.
Awaken Realms had this problem with Lords of Hellas.
Did they?
Yeah,
That
some
was
retail
before my time in
retail
Awakened Realms.
locations were getting Lords of Hellas before the Kickstarter backers.
Mm-hmm.
I forgave them. I was a little more forgiving with them because they are still a sort of up and coming.
Yeah, well, now they have the opposite problem, right? It's like, well, now Nemesis has never come freaking
Right.
shelves.
Well, that's the thing is people started to figure out like, oh, they make really good games.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like if you're a big dog on the block, man, just
Be out
you.
on your own. Yeah.
Be you. You're fine. You
Yeah.
don't need Kickstarter.
Yeah, you've got the recognition now. You can get out there, put your
Because
game
you're
out
drowning
there.
these little ones, right? Because
Yeah.
Kickstarter used to be for the little
right.
guy.
Yeah, like somebody, like a group of people just trying to make a game and get it going
Yeah,
and
you're
get it up and
sucking
funding.
up all the air,
Exactly.
and you don't need to.
Yep.
You're just being greedy.
Yep.
And it's really disappointing.
Yep.
Almost as frustrating as a terrible rule book.
Yeah, exactly.
It's up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll get off my soapbox. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
That just really it's like, come on, man, you can do better than that, right?
Yep.
So as usual, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and please share. Remember, we get up to a certain secret number of subs. We're going to announce a bunch of board game giveaways. We're going
Yeah.
to send you stuff because we are thankful that you watch.
We want to expand the hobby.
Yes.
Also, a couple things. What annoys you most that game companies do? And which Kickstarter excites you most that we talked about today? A couple little things we like. A couple of things we like to talk about.
Yeah.
We should
Remember
do
the little
those.
exclamation point in the top will have links to the things we've talked about in this video that we have already made videos on. If that video has not come out yet, then there won't be a link, but it will be once the video comes out.
Sure.
For certain examples. But yeah, other than that,
Check out our friends at the Board Game Mechanics.
Yeah, they're pretty okay.
Pretty okay. They got podcasts, YouTube videos, so on and so forth. Find us at Game Talk Network. Go to the Game Talk Network website. Check out. There's a bunch of articles, Magic the Gathering, HeroClix. There's all kinds of stuff on
Another
there,
link in the description.
right? There is a Warhammer miniatures video on there as
On the channel.
set of videos.
Yeah.
They've got their own channel. We're under the same umbrella. Lots of good stuff, guys. It's not just us bozos up here yelling at you. We got all kinds of people.
Our first episode of the Board Game Roulette came out, so check that out. Yeah, that's right. We all
you
played.
Can see who won, and then you also, if you watch to the end or skip to the end, you can see what we're going to play
next. See what game
next.
is next. Yeah, that's right. And look forward to that. I think we're going to do the 26th of every month.
It's going to be the last Friday of every month.
Last Friday of every month.
We're
putting out that episode.
So we're going to have to play that next mystery game soon, so we can film it.
I'm excited.
Oh, guys, the mystery game is. Oh.
Well,
that would have been bad. I should have just kept talking.
Right. So, anyways, as always, thank you for watching. I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
I've been Dan.
We'll see you next time.
The room where it happens, the room where it happens, the room where it happens. Everyone else is in the room where it happens.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.